hello. I'm on the microphone and I'm not at home. And there's only one of me and there ain't no clone. I like backspinning windmills and centipede 2. When I go pee, I
do number 2.
Number 2.
Yay.
Yeah.
Good rhyme.
You know when they recorded Rapper's Delight, it wasn't like a set song. They just put on like the music and they just said, all right, guys, just rap. Go for it, Wonder Mike, whatever their names are.
I wonder if people can do that now. Like
they probably do. Jay-Z probably does. Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, just keep the best stuff.
Don't think that's Jay-Z.
I think Jay-Z does.
He raps anymore. I think he's like more of a producer now.
I don't think so either. But when he probably raps like when he walks down the street and stuff. I heard that Jay-Z didn't write raps. He just freestyles but it's maybe he just does it and they're like, all right, like Old Dirty Bastard. Do you think he sat there with a pen and pencil?
Absolutely.
Or they're just like, go there and just say your crazy stuff and we'll film it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Pontius Show. I'm Chris.
I'm May.
So today we're going to be answering more questions. We got so many great questions from you, and we weren't able to get to them all. So thank you for sending them. Keep sending them. Keep them coming because they lead to good stories also. We're going to answer more of those, and if we haven't gotten to your question yet, we will. So thank you for your patience, and keep sending them. You can follow the link to contact us at chrispontius.com. Ask about whatever you want.
I failed at doing my Korean love heart. No. See? I failed. I was like this. You know I have double jointed thumbs?
Oh, yeah. Like your son, Max.
Like this. Can you do that? Yeah. And then like my fingers can do this. Like,
wow, that's neat. I can do this, though. I can spell blood with my fingers. That's my one big trick.
I don't think I could do that. Blood.
That's really good. I'd like to learn to spell more words, though. I was in a spelling bee. First, before we start with anything, how about that Dave England episode?
Oh, fantastic!
Dave was awesome, and he's going to come back again to join us because we had so much fun, and it was awesome to see Dave.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I always like seeing Dave.
Oh, he
cracks me up.
Such a ray of sunshine.
He is.
Sometimes with some clouds.
We've gone over to his house. This was long before Axe was born, but we've gone over to his house and we've caused a bit of ruckus over there, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
We have. Naughty. We're very naughty over there.
Speaking of ruckus, I'm going to share something that I brought today. Time for show and tell.
I'm just going to.
This here is my baby goose wing hatchet. Baby goose wing axe, and this axe is really cool. It's actually around when I got interested in zombie movies from pretty much from you, May. I started thinking about what would be a good zombie weapon, which we've talked about a lot. And I was like, God, I would like a little axe, but one that I could poke them with too. I don't know how I searched it, but I found Mineral Mountain Hatchet Works makes this, and I was like, this is perfect. When you're watching zombie movies a lot, you're just hoping for that day to come.
Eventually, we'll get there.
Eventually, that day will come.
Can I see, please?
Yeah.
Holding it nicely. Oh, wow. This is beautifully balanced. That's very sharp, Chris.
It is. It's a convex grind.
This is why I have to stay away from you when you pull this out of the sheath, because injure other people or yourself when you're pulling it out of the sheath.
Yeah, especially these Kydex sheaths. The first time I actually took that out, it drew blood. But if one day those zombies do come around, I'll be ready. God, I'll be ready.
This is actually a great, cutting. So you can actually use it for...
Oh, it'd be great for cutting spices.
Spices?
Yeah, with its little, curved blade. Yeah, but you know what? A goosewing hatchet, or goosewing axe, actually, was designed for making, logs into squared boards, squaring out the round part of them.
Very sharp.
Very sharp.
Very sharp.
Be good for so many things.
I know.
You could skin the zombies after you killed them too with it. Be a great skinner.
Oh, you can hold it really nicely.
It's so good. Yeah, you choke up on it when you're skinning the zombie or whatever.
It's like you always trigger me whenever you rip something out because it's gross when he cuts himself because there's like blood marks everywhere.
I was invited to host the pilot of this cooking show once, and so I did, and I cut myself like 8 times on it because it was so the pressure, but it was a lot of fun, and the knives didn't hurt really.
Well, they shouldn't hurt.
No, because they were so sharp.
Well, a dull knife is really dangerous.
Yeah. And you shouldn't have to saw when you're cutting. You should just be able to slice. And a lot of people are so used to using crappy knives that they're like that when they cut. But that's knife talk. That'd be a good show we should have.
Knife talk.
Corner.
Knife corner talk.
Knife talk corner. Yeah. I did bring another knife though. I might as well show it to you.
Yeah, you may.
I actually had this on my hip today just as my everyday knife. This is made by Condor Knife and Tool actually. It's called the Ripper, and it's a Scandi grind, it's more of a wilderness knife. It's also pointy. That's why I couldn't resist getting it. It's a good self-defense knife and a good camping knife.
That's beautiful.
It is awesome.
Do you think this is like an occupational safety issue that he's opening knives like right on his lap?
Our insurance will cover it. Well, ideally we won't get cut though. We're not even shopping anything though.
Sure.
We're just showing them, and I'm very good at that. Was many years ago when I was a little boy though. Like I think like my dad would get me and my brother like a pocket knife, when we were camping, like at the gift shop at Yosemite, and we'd be hiking, and me and my brother would be like pulling out our folding knives, and they're really hard to pull out and we'd cut ourselves and then be like, oh crap, if mom or dad sees us, they're going to take our knife away. No. So I take my shirt off and like wrap it around the bleeding finger so they wouldn't see that we got cut because we didn't want to lose our knives.
I don't know. My dad had a butterfly knife.
Of course he did, because he's Filipino.
Yeah, and he was very good at it.
Especially your dad's era, like all those guys when they were young, they were hoodlums.
He was a bad boy.
And they all had.
My dad was naughty.
Butterfly knife, Balisong. We'll bring in some butterfly knives sometime.
I want to practice my little.
But people do crazy tricks.
So crazy.
Always wanted to learn that.
I only know like the standard one. But
where should I begin? All right, this is from Adam, and he asks about Charlie's Angels. How did that come to be? I remember you talking about this and not sure if there's anything more to say. I was super excited when I saw you in that movie.
Right before the first Jackass movie was released, I got a phone call to participate in being a small part in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle with Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu.
Crispin Glover.
And so, of course, I said yes. And I was in Mexico with my friend Scott on a wild adventure. Yeah, my part where I was supposed to film for like a week or a few days, and I ended up being there for like 2 months. And my role was henchman. What'd you call it?
A freeloading henchman.
A freeloading henchman. And who's that lady that was married to Bruce Willis and Ashton Kutcher?
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore. Yeah, she was there the first day too, in the same room with us, and doing her little exercises and stuff. And yeah, we had a great time. So this movie, apparently the movie company couldn't, like, they kept changing the story. And so instead of being there for a few days, I was there for so long. And so basically I just got to practice guitar all day and run around with stuntmen.
You hung out with Tommy Flanagan, right?
Yeah, I became very good friends with Tommy Flanagan, who many people know from Sons of Anarchy, and he was an awesome guy. And yeah, we had a blast. And all the Charlie's Angels girls were really nice too. And yeah, the making that movie was just a big party. And everybody, every day, like, they'd be like, all right, we got to stay overtime because this thing might be ready to film this scene, and but then we never would, and scenes would never be ready. So everyone, the electricians, the grips, us, it would go into double overtime. So at the time, I didn't have much cash, and there's a lot of fun adventures making that, and lots of good food that was free of charge. I seldom get asked that question. Yeah.
About your Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, it's considering I was there for so long. It's my appearance in the movie is pretty short, and God, another thing, the director Mick G, he had me be like the main guy during the strip club scene where I think Lucy Liu steals my keys while Drew Barrymore is like, entertaining me. And yeah, it was that was like the probably the longest scene that I was in. So. Yeah, it was super fun. Everyone was super nice.
I kind of want to watch it now.
Have you seen it?
No.
God, we got to watch it. Oh, yeah. Another favorite movie. Mm-hmm. Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah. That's from That might be my favorite also.
We were hanging out with one of our friends this weekend, and we got into movies and Dusk Till Dawn.
Because he was going to go meet,
Oh, he did.
yeah, who's he going to meet?
Machete.
Yeah, Machete.
Danny
Trejo.
Danny Trio.
Yeah, he saw him that morning.
So we're telling him movies that like
he was in.
early movies that he was in.
Because
Yeah,
he's a young man, a different generation from us.
yeah.
So he hadn't seen From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, that was one of the first like decent parts that Danny had.
Yeah.
Danny Trio.
Oh, and then don't forget Con Air.
Yeah, and Con Air, which he lost an arm during that crash landing in Con Air.
Yeah.
But but yeah, Dusk Till Dawn's that's one of the best movies ever. I wish I could be in that movie.
Oh, did they do a remake?
Yeah, they did do a remake, and I don't wish that I was in that one as much, but it'd probably be fun.
A third remake.
Yeah, but they're not made by the same people.
and Harvey Keitel is incredible in that too.
God, yeah, he is.
I mean,
Cheech
actually,
Marin. That's so many. Yeah, like
this is why I support George Clooney because of that movie.
oh, George Clooney's so rad. That's the first thing besides Facts of Life that I saw George Clooney in, and he is a charming man.
He is a charming
Seth, that's his character.
man.
Yeah, and he's awesome.
Did that character kind of like kick off tribal tattoos too? Because he's
He had cool tribal tats.
right.
We were just talking about this on the way here because we were driving behind this car that had like, it looked like it had a tramp stamp, a tribal tattoo tramp stamp on the car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The car did have a tribal tramp stamp. Very few people can pull off a tribal tattoo.
Tramp stamp.
Like, you have to be a Pacific Islander, Mike Tyson, or George Clooney,
Yo.
or a tramp stamp car, or a tramp. I'm just kidding. I don't have a tramp stamp myself, but before they were called tramp stamps, I entertained the idea of getting a little. They're lots of fun, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what May said on the way. She's like, I love tramp stamps. I think they're fun.
They're fun.
She even had the nerve, the goal to say, if you don't have a tramp stamp, I don't really trust you. That's what she said on the car on the way here.
Yeah, it's true.
I just saw a lady in the tramp stamp.
No way.
It's a real tattoo someone did of a stamp of Lady in the Tramp. So Google that.
I would get
amazing.
It is amazing. I would get a tramp stamp, but I have this a little bit of hair on my lower back. I call it my tail.
Lose it.
It's not overly thick, but it's. I don't want to lose it. No, I don't. I don't want to have to wax it off.
No.
And so that would get in
the way
it would clash with my tramp stamp, my California license plate. You know, like how the tramp stamp, sometimes they get it to like accentuate the female form. What about like that part of the male body? What's it called? Like the cum gutters. That's the part of the male body that has like the little ridge on the front. I love
the
that.
Ken dolls have them.
Oh yeah, uh-huh. I kind of have natural cum gutters, but they're kind of obscured a little bit with age.
That's the best term.
Cum gutters.
Yeah, so a lot of people are probably going to be getting tattoos to accentuate their cum gutters.
A tribal tattoo.
Yeah,
I bet there's a few.
Oh yeah, there is. Maybe on like bodybuilding
no
circles. What do you think?
I don't think so,
some kind of circles. Yeah, some circles. I'm not sure which circles they are, but when I find out, we'll start hanging out with them. We'll probably even have them on the show.
I trust them.
I would trust them too. With cum gutter tribal tats. Might get one myself. A little outline of the cum gutter. It looks like kind of like you're wearing a bikini.
Yeah.
God, it would hurt to get a cum gutter tattoo, but
that would hurt.
it would be worth it. I've never entertained the thought of getting cum gutter tattoos at any time before now in my life, so my mind is racing.
Should go all the way around his body, just back to front.
From my tail to my cum gutters.
Yeah.
And then some. Oh my God. I'm going to have to start doing my baby shark ab workout and to accentuate my cum gutter tat. Like look it up on YouTube. And like you'll feel it the next day if you don't do sit-ups and stuff. So yeah, I think it works. Yeah, once it started, it does. It totally works. It totally works.
You only have to do it for the duration of the song.
Yeah. So
each part of the song, and you just can do it. Like it's so good.
Your stomach muscles are engaged the whole time, So even though it's short, like you get a lot out of it. Yeah. So
Baby Shark.
check it out. I should film my own Baby Shark workout because they're getting a lot of views on that one.
I'll post it up. Post his Baby Shark workout.
Maybe someone will write a question to us. Chris, I want to hear more about this Baby Shark workout, and could you demonstrate it? And then we will demonstrate it.
You kind of have undies that we bought from Kohl's that had the tribals.
Oh yeah, I do. We were at Kohl's once, and there was these manties, like, you know, boxer briefs they're called, and they had the tribal tramp stamp tat going all the way around, like the full, like what an MMA fighter in the like late 90s would have gotten.
GSP.
Like those undies, but like tribal tat going that way to accentuate the male form.
We just couldn't pass it up. Like, Chris is not the type of person to buy crap in stores. I am, but he isn't. So, like, this we couldn't pass up.
Oh yeah, we had to get it. I'll wear it. I'll wear it next time.
Oh yeah.
I still have these undies. Yeah, they're total like tramp stamp all the way around.
He's dropped trow at many bars and clubs wearing these.
And they're
manties.
super uncomfortable, actually, too. So I don't wear them on a daily basis, but for show, they're amazing. And my physical form when I was wearing them back then wasn't what it is now.
I remember you were showing Jeff Tremaine. I remember how excited you were, like, to show Jeff. Like, Jeff's seen a lot of stuff.
I think, like, deep down inside, a lot of men are jealous of the cool bathing suits that women get to wear. And
deep down inside.
No, I mean, for some of us, not so deep. That's what I'm all about.
Remember when you wore your sister's bathing suit backwards?
Oh yeah, when I was a little boy, my sister was just like starting to become a teenager and have her first like real bikinis. Like when she was not home, me and my brother went into her bedroom and like put on her bathing suits backwards. Well, my brother's the genius. He was even younger than me who put it on backwards because, you know, it fits the male body better backwards because girls don't have penises. So you not only does it hold your boy parts better, but it makes it more of a thong in the back, which is what we all want. So me and my brother did a little fashion show for my mom, and either they weren't returned folded the same way or my mom snitched, but the word got out to my sister and she gave me a beating. Yeah, and I just took it because I deserved it. Chris, get your own bikinis. But she didn't say that. But years later, I got my own, as you all know. I've got scores of bikinis. Each one is skimpier than the last. But you know, as May now is in charge of buying my bikinis, and she gets just the right ones, which is like. That it does not too tight on the front, then it accentuates the male form, but without being like, you know, too out there, you know, in your face, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, just perfect. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And I love the cut is just right, and they're pretty comfortable too.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I don't remember what the question was, but I hope we answered it. This is what this show's all about. Train of thought.
Yeah.
Whatever's on our mind. And what's important. Because it's also important to have a good time.
Well, you know, because many of our listeners would probably just be like cruising along or...
And some of these listeners are young men that are unsure of themselves and need to be reassured. Yeah. And they're thinking about what they're going to wear come summer. No. All right.
Man. So I have another question from Levon. What do you think of the Dude Son?
Oh, the Dude Sons. They're awesome. The Dude Sons are rad. They're good friends, and they come from kind of the same kind of skateboard culture that we do. Only they're from Finland, and I haven't seen them for a while, but yeah, actually our group, or the group Dick House, Jeff Tremaine, Knoxville, and Spike Jones's production company that makes Jackass and Wild Boys and all these other things. They produce the Dude Sons show, and they're part of our family, and they're awesome, and they're crazy. They done some gnarly stuff. So yeah, that's what I think of them. They all have the same name too, not quite, but a few of them do.
Haka, Jacka, Haka, Baka, Baka?
Yeah, Finnish is a crazy language.
I don't know.
But yeah, they're rad dudes. They're really fun.
My uncle used to live in Finland.
Oh, yeah.
And so all my cousins, they all have Finnish names.
Villavalo.
Yeah, they're Villavalo.
That's the only other person I know from Finland. Your cousins and Villavalo.
Oh, and Jamie.
Oh, and Jamie, yeah.
I'd like to go there sometime.
Oh, we'll go there soon. Yeah, there's a boat from Sweden that you can take there, and it's really fun. But, I think the Dudesons, they were kind of hurt by their Finnish accents. They're so gnarly. Their stunts are crazy and they're funny. But, yeah, because their accents are kind of foreign, I think that kind of hurt them from taking off as big as they could have probably in America. Speaking of Finland, I recently learned a new riff on the guitar, a slide guitar riff, at the beginning of that song Freestyler by Bomb Funk MCs. It goes it's a sick song. But I learned the slide guitar riff at the beginning because it has this sick.
Are they from Finland?
Yeah. Rock the microphone, freestyling. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. But yeah, I'll play that riff sometime on the show.
Cool.
It's a real Delta bluesy one. You never expect was the song to come after that. But yeah.
All right, so the Dudesons.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we think of the Dudesons.
Yeah, they're sick.
They come from a country.
I wonder if they have tramp stamps.
I could see one or two of them having tramp stamps and probably pulling it off. They're in pretty good shape. I think they should have worn skimpier outfits on their show.
I've got another question.
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay, from Aldo. Over the years, you've undoubtedly angered many people, e.g., keep God out of California. My question is, have you ever received any death threats?
No, I've never gotten death threats, but I've had people, like talk about beating me up, especially before the show was on TV.
I'd like to see them try.
Yeah, I'd like to see them try. No, God, yeah, like when I was rollerblading down the boardwalk in the jockstrap, all these people wanted to beat me up, like, let's kick his ass. But I was on the rollerblades, they couldn't catch me.
Too fast.
Yeah, I'm pretty good on the skates. People have gotten mad. There was this one bit, the Knoxville film, where he was an escaped convict, and he had handcuffs on him. And the bit was to go into a hardware store, and he's asked the clerk for a hacksaw to saw his thing on. And he has a LA County jumpsuit on. Yeah, and they're it's really uncomfortable. And he goes off and tries to find one, and they called the cops, and the cops pulled up. I was actually in the car that was filming it at the time, and the cop car pulls up, jumps out of the car, pulls their gun, but forgot to take the e-brake off. The car jumps up the curb, crashes into the fire hydrant. It caused a lot of problems.
When pranks go too far.
Yeah, it costed MTV a bit of cash, and we couldn't show it on the show, but I was really lucky to see it in real life.
I think that's what a lot of, the pranksters nowadays that pull off these kind of unwritten pranks on the public. They don't realize that you could actually cause so much more damage, but,
Some of them have paid the price.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People are so on edge nowadays.
They are.
And just sketched out about anything.
On Jackass, we were very careful about not doing things that would incite violence.
Yeah, but yours was in the days when that stuff was so new.
Yeah, it was.
So now people are super jumpy.
They are.
So jumpy. I mean.
They are. No.
You mean even in our area, there's a lot of old ladies that are widowers that have guns on their bedside table, and they'll just shoot anything.
Yeah,
in the backyard.
Because they know that they can't wait for the police to arrive. It's impossible. So they're
which actually happened too.
Yeah, and there's this old lady,
80-something years old, by herself, heard some ruckus in the yard.
It was a burglar
shooting through her sliding door.
And the burglar hightailed it out of there. She didn't get him.
Crazy.
She wasn't a good shot, but
no.
But she
good enough.
Yeah, good enough. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't dare do something.
No, people are so sketched out. Even driving, I tell May, if someone does something on the road, don't flip people off anymore because people freak out. Yeah. Yeah, we've had some people freak out. You flip somebody off and they want to run you off the road, and especially when you have a kid. Yeah. I avoid anything like that.
I don't flip anyone off anymore.
Yeah.
I'll give them a bit of a wag of the finger. Boom.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Boo. Just booing people.
God, that would bum me out. Yeah. If I'd done something to get a boo. I recently learned how to run like a tiger. Like I saw it on Instagram, like there's this like crew of people that are really into like running like their animal. I can't remember what it's called. I was just wondering if someone like was coming after me, maybe I would run like that towards them and it would scare them.
After a road rage incident?
Yeah.
You just get out of the car and start running like a tiger?
Yeah. On all fours. Like, and it comes really quick and it's scary. I can run like a gorilla really well, actually. Like in Jackass 3 when I was dressed as the gorilla. And I studied how they move. And it's very intimidating, like having someone shuffle sideways towards you like that.
Did you know that I didn't know that was you in the gorilla costume?
Really?
It
looked
had
just
no
like a real
idea.
gorilla. Thank you. It's that realistic, huh?
I liked how they blacked out your eyes.
Yeah. And I had these arm extensions that were like, it was so fun having arms that I could walk on my knuckles. If there was one thing I could change about my body, I'd want gorilla arms. It was so fun to run around in that.
Was it heavy?
It was so hot. In between, like when I was scaring them and they were hiding, like I had to go into this back room and this lady had like this air blower like to blow into the mask because I couldn't breathe. Like it was so hard to breathe in that. Like I almost passed out, and also the adrenaline. But I feel like someone that wants to get like a plastic surgery operation, like
You'd be able to.
I wish my butt was more bubbly.
Yeah.
But I want to get a Brazilian butt lift. But of course I don't want a Brazilian butt lift. I already got a natural one.
You don't need it.
Yeah, I know. But but I do need gorilla arms.
No.
Don't get gorilla arms.
Oh no, but there's like you can get leg extensions. You
really?
can like be 6 inches taller.
Oh, I'm happy the way I'm made.
Apparently it's about a 6-month like recovery.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it's really painful because it's like you got to stretch them. Like
I know, but my center of gravity would be so much higher, and I couldn't. It'd make me so much easier to take down.
no, you're better the way you are.
Yeah, I like the way I am.
Yeah, because this is a good fighting
Yeah.
structure over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Meg.
You're welcome.
That's what's great about these questions.
No, it leads us into something else.
One thing leads to another.
Yep. All right. So this is from Brandon. What kind of music did you grow up listening to, and what cool concerts did you catch back in the day?
Oh man, I was really into punk rock, and especially back in the 80s, because like the mainstream was so mainstream, and like now, everyone's audience is, when we were skateboarders, it wasn't an accepted thing back then. So skateboarders, punk rockers, goths, the underground was so good because there was never going to be like money in it. So everything was just for the sake of doing it. Like punk rock shows used to be scary, like, because it would just be like someone renting out a hall, somebody's to get some security and like, all these
Gigi
people
Allen
with
throwing poop at you.
Yeah. I never saw Gigi Allen play, but like all my friends did. And they got poop thrown at them, and the whole place was running from Gigi. And they weren't in these big venues. There were these tiny venues. Like I played the same venue as Gigi Allen.
CBGB's, like
Red Barn in Santa Barbara, like in tiny room, all these things. Yeah, CBGB's is tiny.
Yeah, tiny.
Yeah. And all these bands that later became huge that came out of there, like the Ramones and Blondie.
Back in the day, we just had nothing else to go to, like computer games, like TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. We weren't like
there wasn't much entertainment for kids.
Media.
So no skate parks either. The first wave of skating died. All the skate parks got closed down. So that's how street skating started. It was just making something out of nothing at all. That's really what my generation was about, and that's what Jackass is about too. Everything that we do kind of comes from the skateboarding culture. It's like, what do you got? You got the street, a curb, whatever. And, let's have some fun because we don't really want to play football. And
I used to love getting flyers, like, the old school way of finding out what to do on the weekend or after work.
I spent so many hours at Kinko's making flyers.
Taping it around telegraph poles.
Totally.
You guys do that in America?
Oh, yeah. Punk rock everywhere. Sometimes at punk rock shows, people would show up and they just would want to go because there'd be a pit. They just want to go there to fight, and there'd be like the guy walking the other way on the pit, or the guy just staying there like to shove people. But it was all good fun. That was a great question.
So the next one is anonymous. All right.
Wow.
With Chris being the body confidence king, I thought I'd ask how I can help boost my husband's body confidence. My husband is 6 foot, 240 pounds of perfection. I love it. And he has a hard time feeling good about himself.
Yeah, there's everyone in the world out there, especially now with social media, is ready to critique like the way someone is built and what's wrong with them. They're either too fat or too skinny or whatever. It's never going to be somewhere in the perfect, but if there's anything about that you don't like about yourself that you can change, do it. And if it's something about yourself that you can't change, you just have to like love yourself for it. And
she's doing a great job because she's like, she loves his body.
if she likes his body, that's all that matters.
Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if
I love this.
I've been heavier than I would have liked to have been in at times. And you know, if you're like that, you can always exercise and change it. But the only person that really matters is the person that you sleep next to at night.
Yeah.
If they like your body the way it is, that's all that matters.
I bet this guy is super strong.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you told me you wanted me 300 pounds and that's what you were stoked on, like.
But if you didn't want to be 300 pounds,
yeah, that's
then I'd have to be stoked on what
Yeah.
you wanted to be.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
right.
that's how you
Yeah,
feel.
I think he's really lucky to have someone that is stoked on the way he is.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's all that matters.
If you love it and you think he's perfection, that's great.
But standards of the way people are supposed to look now are so like
But
ridiculous.
screw that though.
People that do put people down like for their bodies are they're just upset about something else. They're unhappy about something else in their life. And I find that people that are actually happy, confident people never say anything like that to others.
Are a little bit more fulfilled.
Yeah, they're more fulfilled because they don't need to bring anybody else down to bring themselves up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really good question.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Derek, Chris, I've been a fan of you since childhood. My life is difficult, but you helped me develop my sense of humor. Is there any words of advice that you can give to the struggling youth of today? Thank you for everything you've done over the years.
Thank you, Derek. And I would say, yeah, find people that are into what you're into, that feel the same way as you, if you can, like skateboarding did for us, you know, like, and punk rock, you know, it like gave us a community.
Yeah.
And when you have a community, like all of a sudden, you know, you don't feel like an outsider anymore. So I think
I don't think you need like a large group of friends.
No.
You need like a
one or
tight
two,
knit.
or even one.
Yeah.
Like
just someone there.
someone. It really helps. Just someone to relate to.
Yeah. And talk to, really.
And you know, when people like have a problem or anxiety or something about something and doesn't say anything because they don't want to bug anyone about it, especially men. Like men are so afraid to like express anything that they're feeling because they don't want to bring anybody down with it. And like, you know, but you know, once you do let it out, you end up finding out that other people feel the same exact way.
Yeah.
Like actually being able to express how you feel about something, if you are suffering, is so important. Let it out. Like whether it's writing,
right?
talking
about it,
or writing it down. If I have a bunch of stuff on my mind late at night and I just write it down like I was talking, it just gets it out. You got to get the negative out of you.
Yeah.
Because if you try to walk around believing like, just try to be like positive, there's no such thing. There's always positive and negative. And I find the people that are always like, oh, positive, you always see this darkness about them, like underbelly. Whenever things get a little stressful, like this weird, you can see this like stress, like they don't want negativity, but you have to accept the negativity and let it out.
That makes sense. You know how if I'm not feeling so good, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Just so you know, and you don't have to read me like, oh, why is May so pissy today? So because I'm not feeling so great.
Well, that's one thing that like I think women have over men. Like women do express like
sometimes.
Like, I mean, especially to sometimes. But I like, you know, when a woman is like saying like, you know, how they felt about their day to like their significant other, they don't want the answer to whatever the problem is. They just want someone to hear it.
Yeah.
I think, and like get it out.
Yeah.
And that's how everyone should be. I feel like such a Renaissance man.
That was a really good, serious answer.
It was.
All right. Let's just go to something that's.
But we like questions like that, actually.
Yeah. We totally love it.
Yeah, it was a great question. So yeah, if you have. Your questions don't have to be about Jackass or anything like that. Anything like.
Let me just derail this whole conversation from this next question.
Go for it.
This is from Eric. Hello. Me and my buddy like to say Chris Pointy Ass and Quifo in parody of Steve-O's names, yours and Steve-O's names. No disrespect is intended. We just laughed like children at this. This is such a weird question. Sorry. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Oh, well, I've been called Chris Pointy Ass. I think the first time I was called it was probably in kindergarten, and I've been called it many years through elementary school. So yeah, it no longer If ever offended me, yeah, it was just a play on my name. Yeah, no, it doesn't. I don't feel any disrespect. I've heard it about 1 million times, maybe.
I like Quifo though.
But I do like Quifo, and I've never heard that.
No.
And might
have to use
might
it.
bust your rhyme sometime in the future. Quifo.
Quifo over there thinks he's king of the world.
Yeah.
Quifo.
Yeah, I like that one. I've heard him be called a lot of names.
Like what?
I knew you were going to ask me that. People that didn't like him, like there was someone that called him Steve Zero. You're like yelling at me, you're hanging out with Steve Zero.
Cheapo.
Oh, Cheapo, yeah, that Russian prostitute called him Cheapo. In fairness, I think he had paid her a fine sum of money too.
I bet he did. Like, I'll tell you one thing. Quifo is not a cheapo.
He's not a cheapo. He is very generous with money to everyone, even prostitutes. Yeah. No,
really
he's
good. Eric,
Yeah,
that was great. Hello, it's Eric again. Please tell us your best Deco story. If possible, get Deco on the show. That'd be sick.
Deco, actually, I never really got to know him that well because he only filmed with us really briefly. But he did come down the first time that the whole cast filmed together for the TV show in Florida. All the guys from everywhere came down and we hung out, and he was awesome. And that was the first time I met Deco. And God, I'll tell you a story. So Dave England went up to Bam. First time he met Bam, he was like, I was so stoked on him. I was so stoked to meet Bam. And Bam immediately just insulted something that David filmed that he hated. It was the bloody cell phone. I guess Bam hated that bit. And so Bam was already like, kind of famous in the skateboard world. So he was already had a little bit of celebrity in him. He was younger than the rest of us too. But he said something pretty mean to Dave. And so Dave was so bummed and disheartened. So one night we all were out on the town in Orlando, and me, Dimitri, and Dave and Deco shared a taxi to go back to the hotel. And Dave was still like upset about Bam being mean to him. So he started beating Deco up in the back of the taxi because he was mad at Bam. And since Bam wasn't there, he had to beat up Bam's friend.
Wait, Dave England?
Yeah. So I think he started like hitting him or something like that.
I don't think he'd hit him.
He was doing whatever Dave does to people when he's mad at them. I was busy talking with the driver and Dimitri, because Dimitri told the driver that we were porn stars and that we were in town filming a bukkake movie, and I never knew what bukkake was.
Google it.
Yeah, Google it. So this taxi driver was this older guy, and he's like, I want to hear more about this bukkake stuff. So we were enveloped in this conversation of this made-up story that Dimitri like made up about us being porn stars.
Bukkake porn stars.
So we were so busy in the middle of this conversation, or behind us, this scuffle was going on between Dave and Deco, and so I think Deco was probably pretty bummed about it, and so Deco didn't really. I don't think he was comfortable with the rest of the guys. He just was more in their little world in Westchester, and so he kind of bowed out of Jackass. He was the funniest guy of that CKY group. God, he's hilarious. But I don't think he ever wanted to be a TV star or anything. He was just, having fun. So, but he's amazingly funny.
Thanks, Eric. And Eric, by all means, bukkake it up. I know that wasn't your question, but...
That's what you get.
Yep.
You got bukkake.
Yeah, bukkake.
I love that word.
I know, it's really fun. Okay, so JT, he asked... first off, I've been told I look like Chris, but I don't see it. Well, we've got to see it too. He said maybe a half brothers.
Pretty positive I don't have a half brother, but I've met a few people that look. I did meet a guy from North Wales, actually, that looked just like me. Buffer. He was really muscular.
Oh.
I think it was like he was a miner or something. Like,
Wow.
Yeah. I was actually playing a show, and I said that he was my twin brother, and people believed it. That's how much he looked like me. And hopefully he'll be watching this.
I'd love to see all your like doppelgangers.
It's crazy because the people that I've met that look like me, they've all been from different places. Like they're not particular to a certain like nationality background or whatever. I actually had another friend that was like half Vietnamese, half German. He looked just like me. He was crazy. Like, so yeah, these doppelgangers, like they come from all over the world.
There's a show called Doppelganger, and they have a lot of similarities that freak themselves out. They freak each other out.
Did they ever compare penises?
I mean, maybe behind the scenes, like
because no two penises is exactly alike.
Really?
There's individualistic
yeah.
as snowflakes.
Like a fingerprint.
They're like a fingerprint. I actually did a painting once. I was like, I want to do this whole painting with my penis instead of the brush. I actually signed it by like kind of stamping my wiener on it. I have it at my mom's house, actually. Little does she know what I used as a quill.
I haven't even finished this question.
Oh, okay.
So JT, he still asks, so you're a bit of a metal guy, same with Steve-O, and he's curious of how deep into death metal you guys are.
I'm more of a black metal guy. I'm pretty deep. I love black metal. I love it. Norwegian black metal, all black metal actually. Now it's all over the world. It's crazy. If you take the distortion off black metal, it's kind of like surf music.
Very similar.
Someone actually re-recorded a bunch of black metal songs surf style, and it's sick.
That's
like
awesome.
Emperor.
Oh, we're gonna have
so
to.
good.
We
Gotta play it. It's so good. What do you call like Metallica? Like old Metallica, Slayer,
Thrash.
almost thrash metal. That's what they called it back in the day, huh? But yeah, I love metal. But not as much as May though.
No, you're a bigger fan. I think.
I mean, we pretty much met at a Motorhead concert. I mean, come on.
Yeah, come on. That was lovely.
Yeah, but that's how we feel about metal.
I mean, he listens to it dropping off his kid.
And he loves the metal too.
He loves it too. Axe is into
I think
it.
because when you were pregnant, you played music a lot intentionally, so you like music. But yeah, when some power metal comes on, like he'll like tell it. He has this rad style like that.
Like we took him bowling and he was just dancing the whole time.
Yeah, like that.
Just going crazy.
And it's his own style. He can learn it from anybody.
No, he's a dancer. He's a tiny dancer.
Yeah, he is.
Good question, JT.
question.
All right, so the next question's from Blake. He said, I don't need a question answered. I just hope you and the rest of the Jackass crew can forgive Bam and rekindle the relationship. I think every true Jackass fan would love a reunion.
No, none of the Jackass crew were ever mad at him, and a lot of like all the stuff that happened at the time. I think you heard a lot from Bam, but never like the other side. But I can tell you that there was never two sides like that. But for everyone's peace of mind, I can tell you he was never made to take medications or anything like that. I hope that we make another Jackass movie with Bam in it, and it'll be awesome.
It depends on Bam. It's really up to him as well. I think a lot of fans they only saw one side of the story during the time because, the guys were doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
the truth is, when someone's a loose cannon to that extent, the movie company never would have allowed it, because if someone endangers a movie, like
that endangers you.
It
guys.
endangers everyone. So then nobody else, like there's no movie. So it wasn't any of our decision anyway. But
yeah, they tried everything to get him on.
Yeah,
like they did everything. There was so much help that they were doing. Like they really, really genuinely were worried for him, and they really cared. They
invested a lot of time and love and money into trying to get him in shape at the time,
and to be in the movie.
And I think deep down inside he knows it. Mm-hmm. Everyone wanted him. There was nothing to be gained by not having him in the movie. At the time, I really wanted him to make up with everyone and
be
ready to film and be part of it. And hopefully he's getting there now, and we can make another Jackass movie, and it'd be awesome, because it sucks not having Bam in it.
Yeah, he's so funny.
He's so funny, and that funniness is still there. But I think Bam, he's from where he's from. He's a big fish in a small pond, and he got a lot of attention early on, especially from his family. And he's never, had to be responsible for anything or been held accountable for anything in life. He's kind of like a grown-up little boy. You can be this one thing when you are, young, but when you grow up and you act like that again, it doesn't work.
Well, you have responsibilities.
Yeah, and you have responsibilities. And how many times can something be everyone else's fault?
Yeah.
If you look at all these incidents, like one incident after another, and it's always someone else's fault in his mind. And that's how anyone that's messed up thinks. We love Bam, and hopefully he'll want to make another one, and everyone does. Who knows what'll happen?
I think Dave and you've written some nice little skits to add to the pile.
But yeah, every once in a while, someone will write on like my Instagram, like, you didn't have Bam's back, or you guys sucked, you fucked over Bam. And it was like, no, I didn't. I spent a lot of time.
I think that same guy has written on my wall.
Yeah.
And
you're like, I'm just
I'm
Chris's
like,
wife.
dude, I was breastfeeding, so I don't know about you.
Yeah, that was heavy.
That was heavy, Blake. So this one's from Paul. Paul asks, big fan of the Wild Boys. On a scale from 1 to 10, how bad was the glove of ants?
20 on 100. It's the worst thing I've ever done in my life. All the pains I've ever had in my life added up did not hurt as much as a glove of ants. It's worse than anything you could ever imagine. Like if at the time, if I felt like I wanted to saw my arm off to get rid of the pain. It was like demons were in my arm. Worst thing ever. If I shoved a baseball bat up my butt, it would hurt less than that glove of ant venom inside of me. I actually thought about it at the time. It was the last night of filming in Brazil and everyone's in the hot tub and I was just sitting there in pain. Everyone's like, recounting the trip and the good times. And I'm like, God, I would shove a baseball bat up my butt to get rid of this pain.
Glove of ants.
Every time we ever would go film something, like especially on Wild Boys, like with a crocodile or alligator or a snake or whatever, some local yokel will be like, oh man, this is gonna F you up. And like, well, have you ever done this? How do you even know? But then sure enough, I was talking to someone from Brazil. They're like, I can't believe you're doing that. It's so horrible. I'm like, yeah, right. That's what everyone says. It was
right.
Yeah, it was worse than anything I could have imagined. Don't do it. But I did become a man. It's a rite of passage.
There you go.
Being a man is hard.
From boys to men.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a great time in the jungle. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And thank you for watching. Send your questions to contact us at chrispontius.com.
And don't get one of these.
But can you give one?
Yeah, you can give them. Give them, but don't take them.
Give them, but don't take them.
It was so good.
Let's make an episode reviewing our last episode we filmed. Well, I thought we did excellent. We were hilarious. You guys were hilarious too.
Yep.
There's going to be a little stuff to edit around in there.
Yeah, where was Boosh?
All in all, it was great.
Where's Boosh at?
Supposed to be this camera.
Have you ever heard Boosh making love from the other room? Any of you?
No.
You have?
You have?
Tell me.
Wow.
Was Boosh loud?
When I first came to LA, I stayed at Boosh ex-girlfriend's house. Anna, I believe her name was. Yeah.
Did you hear them making love?
No, she was pissed off at him for some reason. I'm like, well, I was like, maybe because you have a bunch of strangers in your house.
I remember one of Boosh's girlfriends being pissed off at him because he kissed me.
Two